Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
We back again, and before we jump into today's episode, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Same thing, different day. Keep showing that love, and we're gonna keep dropping this content, and make sure y'all staying locked in. So make sure y'all hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, telling a friend to tell a friend, and then tell them to subscribe, right? Because we appreciate all the love, we appreciate all the comments, bad, good, ugly. Criticism, we love it, and we try to respond to every comment. So let's have a conversation, let's engage, and let's talk sports. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're here to do. So make sure y'all keep doing y'all thing, and we're gonna do our right, Bleak.
They say we need to do the usual. Just do the usual.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it's Jason Jack. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
What you got from me, Sad?
Week 1 of the NFL 2023 season in the books. We can close that chapter, and I'm ready to close it because of my Bengals performance. I can't wait for week 2. But we can close that chapter and look forward to week 2, right? We got some interesting games, some teams that kind of laid eggs, alongside of my Bengals last week that we're going to see if they can bounce back, and some teams that had really good performances in week 1. Let's see if they can stay consistent, because week 1 is always, it's always weird and wonky. Like, you don't know if this is that true team's identity just yet or not. So we're going to jump into these week 2 games, give some of our predictions to these big games. But also, we got a guest. We got our second guest for today's show, bro. Yeah, bro. We got my brother-in-law. He gonna pop in, bless us with his presence, give us his predictions. He a real strongly opinionated individual. Eagles fan. So we'll get to hear his side of things, which will bring in another opinion, another view. And then me and Peach are throwing some questions, talk about the season, and then also get his Super Bowl predictions before he leaves us. So, let's jump in, bro.
Bring him in, man.
I'm gonna bring him in.
Bring my guy Bob in, man. This is one of the smoothest guys I've ever had the honor of gracing their presence with.
He's strong. I'm not lying either. He's strongly opinionated, bro. Bob could be wrong and know he's wrong and just ride it for the rest of his life.
On the way to be right.
For the rest of his life, bro. He don't care, bro. Like he live on the Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons hill. Like he still think Ben Simmons is like.
I can't believe. Don't even bring up Markelle Fultz, man. And I'm not gonna lie. I love the way his career is trending. I know this is not a Markelle Fultz take.
It's not. Yeah.
The hype was just fucking crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The hype was crazy, man.
Here he go. About to let him in. Be busy.
Big Bob.
What's going on, bro?
Whole bunch of football. That's what's going on.
There we go.
Yes, sir. So, bro, before we jump into week 2, I was just talking to Peach about week 1, right, and how wonky and weird it is sometimes. And some teams laid eggs, some teams look really good, but we'll see if they can be consistent in week 2 and moving forward. But before we jump into these week 2 games where we want to pick your brain and get your opinion, give me a team that stood out to you in week 1 that you think is real.
I think you got to go 49ers first. Like, we all knew that they were going to be good. Like, they're a contender for the Super Bowl, but I didn't think they looked that, like, I didn't think they were going to be that good. So they definitely stood out a big amount. Peaches, Buccaneers, and Browns stood out a little bit.
Oh, you see us, Bob? You see it?
I think the Browns definitely have a good shot, or a better shot to make some noise. Bucks kind of add on them. I think that was just a week 1 type
Don't let Baker get hot, man.
No, I'm with you.
Agreed.
I'm kind of Baker. I think he can have like a Jameis type of career or stint with the Bucks. just like throwing for a lot, not necessarily winning anything, but just having some crazy stats. But yeah, I mean, those are like nobody really in the AFC just because we kind of expect what we expect from the AFC. So those teams all, I mean, like some teams had some stinkers, but they're still going to be in the playoff hunt regardless of who they were. So like the main AFC teams, no one really stood out. Definitely, probably underperformed from what we expected, but I still think that the AFC is going to be very similar to what it was last year.
Yeah, agreed. Me and Pete was talking about how, the top three teams in the AFC, the last 2-3 years started off 0-1. We're referring to the NFC as the JV conference because of the lack of quarterback talent over there. But they went 4-0 against the AFC in week 1. Again, it's week 1, but the NFC put a stronger outing out in week 1. But enough of week 1. I'm closing that door. I couldn't wait to move on from week 1. So let's talk.
I had a clean sweep, Bob. Clean sweep.
Yeah, I'm done with week 1. I'm done. Let's talk about what you say, Bob.
I said we could talk about it a little more if you guys want to.
Nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm just getting over it. Let's move forward to week 2, though, bro. Your Philadelphia Eagles at home opener, Thursday night against the Minnesota Vikings, who lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. So they're looking to rebound. They don't want to start 0-2. The Eagles on the other end of the spectrum didn't have the strongest outing against the Patriots from an offensive standpoint. So I think it's going to be fireworks. But let me hear your take on the game. Who you got winning? What should we watch out for? Let us hear your opinion.
Yeah. To start, I think that the Eagles win. I still the injury report came out a little earlier today. We're out Bradbury and Kenneth Gainwell. I think Bradbury definitely hurts more. I still think Slay will be able to cover Justin Jefferson pretty well. I don't think he'll have a great game. I don't think he'll have a terrible game, but I think Slay gets the job done there. I think what I wanted to bring up was I think Hawkinson goes berserk tomorrow. Our linebacking core is terrible, and Nakobe Dean just hit the IR. So I think that, I don't think that our linebacking crew, like last week, Hunter Henry was the number 1 fantasy tight end in all of the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I think that just speaks to the issues that we got at the linebacker spot. But all in all, it's Kirk Cousins on prime time, and we all know how that goes.
Don't I say that all the time? Cousins? If it's a late game, you know what type of Kirk you get, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Bob, I had a quick question too. And I know we was jumping off of week 1, but you look at Jalen Hurts' performance last game. He was 22 for 33 from the field, 170 passing yards, sacked 3 times, had 37 rushing yards. What was your take on his performance, and how do you expect him to kind of like rebound this week 2 game versus the Vikings?
All things considered, I thought it was actually a really good game for him. We lost offensive coordinator, so we got a new play caller. Just first week on the road against Bill Belichick, tough place to play. So even though a lot of people probably expected more, like what they saw middle to end of last year, or pretty much the whole year, I still think it was pretty good given all the circumstances. But going forward, I think he's just going to get more comfortable with this play calling, this new offense. I mean, he's got the same weapon, so it's like it shouldn't take too much time for him to get too comfortable. So, going forward, I think that you'll still see like the MVP caliber type of play. But that's really up to injuries and trying to stay healthy get all the main guys to stay healthy.
No, for sure, bro. I agree. I think he'll pick it up. And then also, weather was weird in week 1. I don't know how much of a emphasis they played in the Eagles game, but it just seemed like everything was kind of weird week 1. But Dallas Goedert, last thing about week 1, Dallas Goedert had 0 catches and like 1 target, I think, in week 1. So you said TJ Hawkinson going to go off. I think Dallas Goedert's going to go off. What's your thoughts on Dallas Goedert?
Yeah,
this week?
no, I feel the same way. I think tomorrow is a big tight end day. I think they both score. I think Hawkinson definitely. I was looking at some of his prop bets. I think he's over. I think they're both roughly. Goddard and Hawkinson are both roughly at like 50-ish yards over under. I think they both can do that pretty easy. Maybe even in like the first half. I think they both score. But I just think.
You saying 2-leg parlay? Let me know now, Bob.
I cooked it all up. Let me find it for you.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking that in the Bob special. This ain't even the betting segment.
Right. This a treat. This a treat right here.
Yeah, it's a little bonus for everybody watching. So we got Goddard touchdown, anytime touchdown. Hawkinson anytime touchdown. I took Kirk Cousins under 262.5. Goddard 50+ yards, Hawkinson 50+ yards, and Eagles money line. And that payout is plus 71.86.
I like those odds.
I already did the numbers in my head. Shit.
Copy paste, bitch. Copy paste.
I need it.
Nah, I'm excited for that game. I like the over tomorrow, personally. I think that Vikings defense has taken a huge step back, even though they brought in Brian Flores, who I think should bring a spark, but not this early in the season. And then, like you said, some of the injuries on the Eagles defense, I think Kirk Cousins will be able to maneuver a little bit and get some points up. Pete, you had any other questions before we jump games about this Eagles-Vikings game?
I don't want to hold this up too long and stick on this subject, but I noticed that DeAndre Swift wasn't really incorporated in the offense yet last game, obviously. How do you think the Eagles plan on using him? Because you see, I thought he was going to be the starter coming in, but I see they gave it to Kenneth Gainwell. So, but what are some of the things that you think about that situation revolving your running backs?
Yeah, I think that's like a thing going on everywhere in the NFL where they don't really have. There's no more bell cows. So I personally think that they kind of knew that they had a somewhat easy week one, or maybe they viewed it that way. So they kind of wanted to save the more like explosive guy for later on for maybe like a tougher matchup. So I think that's why that Gainwell got the majority of the snaps. Like even Rashad Penny was a healthy scratch. I think they're kind of trying to save something just because it's a copycat league. So like it's always good to not give everything away too early on in the season. So I think that Rashad Penny, whenever he plays, and Swift, I think they'll both have an uptick in total number of snaps played and like attempts, whether that be running or catching the ball. But yeah, I mean, I think that I saw a tweet earlier today that Swift could either go for 175 and 2 touchdowns, or it can go for 2 touches for 7 yards. So it really just depends on how we want to actually use them, how much we want to use them. But yeah, overall, I think that the running back position is in a little bit of a tough spot, just because even if you have like a bell cow type of guy like Eckler, like even Eckler last week had 50-50 carries with the back.
Joshua Kelly.
Yeah, Joshua Kelly. So I do think that everyone's going more towards playing multiple running backs, just in and out, more so than just like a bell cow and then a third down back, kind of just change of pace guys. So I mean, the Eagles really, even with Myles Sanders the last couple of years, he would average like 9 yards a carry, but he would get 4 touches a game. So I don't really know what the Eagles are going to be doing with too much with the running back spot.
Agreed. I think that's a great take, especially because it's more of like an air it out league. Like the teams that are running the ball, that's kind of like the old school brand of football. You know, like the Browns could make the playoffs this year and make some noise, right? But it's because it'll be because Deshaun Watson turns into the Deshaun Watson that we remember him. But like the Titans with Derrick Henry, like those teams that want to play defense and run the ball down your throat, it's not like that anymore. So I definitely agree with that. Go ahead, Bleak.
No, I was just going to say, especially in the playoffs, man, you know what I mean? You got to be able to make certain plays and just that same old just running shit. And you see it with the Titans. If Henry not driving the ball downfield, they can't really do shit, man. They can't really drive the ball or get in field goal range. It's just, It's
Yep.
tough to watch sometimes.
No, absolutely. All right, so Bob, we're gonna touch on some of these key games that we got circled, and then we're gonna get your prediction on the other games. But we're gonna spend a little time on the key games. So first key game I want to bring up is the Chargers at Titans. Right, perfect segue into this game. I seen something that was intriguing that I wanted to bring up before we get your opinion. The Chargers scored 92 points in their last 3 games, and they're 0-3 in all of those games, which is ridiculous, bro. 28-31, 30-31, 36-34. This is a defense that has Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, the names, right? But they can't stop a runny nose. So first give me your prediction on the game, and then break down this Chargers team defensively, because they can put up points.
Yeah, this game's probably a little bit weirder than most of the other week 2 matchups, just because the Titans really want to, like last week we saw Chargers Dolphins have an absurd amount of points. It was just up and down, a lot of scoring. The Titans really want to control the clock, have long possessions, kind of take the other team's offense off the field, which I think you kind of need to do, especially when they have a bunch of other big names on that side of the ball. But like you were just saying, I think if they can keep the defense on the field, tire them out, they already gave up like 50 points to the Dolphins. So if they can wear them out a little bit, I think that game will actually be pretty close. But yeah, I think that it's just all the Chargers have not had like a big name or like a solid coach in maybe like 15 or 20 years now. So I think that, yeah, they can score a lot. They can't really stop anybody, but I think that's a lot of their head coach, whether that's just not like having a lot of experience as a head coach. But like they have everything on paper. Like they should be one of the Super Bowl favorites every year just because of the guys that they got. But their coaching is like probably bottom 10 in the league.
I agree.
Well
So
said.
Chargers or Titans in that game?
I would say Chargers win, but I would pick the Titans to cover.
In the spread. All right. And then last thing on the Chargers playoffs. Is that a lock? Can we circle that?
Yeah.
Okay. It was the hesitation. I was
You skeptical a little bit.
yeah. Peach, who you liking that before we move games? Who you liking that Chargers Titans game?
I like the Chargers, man. I think they're gonna put up a lot of points next week again. And then hopefully, I don't know what other way to stop the Titans besides from stopping the damn run. So if they struggle with stopping Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is due for one of those, and I know it's only been one game, but the follow-up games with Derrick Henry, he'll fuck around, come out of nowhere and run for $160 and have 2 tutties. So I don't know, man. I'm with Bob on this one. I like the Chargers, but I'll take the Titans with the points, man.
All right. Not even for content and for argument, but I like the Titans. I really do. I think switching from, like Bob said, a team that's just put up 50 points on you, right? Air it out, making that transition, and focusing on a Titans team that's going to try to take the air out the ball, control the time of possession, and run it with Derrick Henry. I think they'll be able to sneak that out. And it's the home opener in Tennessee. I like Mike Vrabel as a coach. Talking about coaching, I think Mike Vrabel's a good coach, and Brandon Staley might not be able to pull it out late. Titans win late by a field goal, in my mind. All right, next game. Ravens, Bengals. Ravens coming off a game where they handled business, but not in the prettiest of fashions. I don't know if both of you guys got a chance to see that game, but some turnovers on Lamar's part, not a lot of yards. They basically took advantage of a new head coach, rookie quarterback, and did what they were supposed to do in their home opener. Bengals, on the other hand, laid a complete egg. Browns smoked them 24-3. Bengals home opener. We don't expect that to be this team for the rest of the season. Division game. So, Bob, you start us off. What's your thoughts on that game?
This game's also weird because I think you guys were both not too big on the Ravens this year earlier on in your other videos, I think, if that's accurate. I was very big
I
on
wasn't.
the Ravens this year. Okay. Yeah, so I was very big on the Ravens this year. I don't like how they played a team that's going to have a top 3 pick next year in the draft and had to, like, even though the score may not represent it, it kind of felt like they squeaked that one out. So they didn't play
Agreed.
very well. So I initially would have liked to take the Ravens here, but I really don't see how a team like an offense like the Bengals can do, like, have a repeat of last week. Since it's a divisional game, I don't know if it'll be that high scoring. I think the Bengals offense will look a lot better. But I'm kind of similar to the Chargers Titans game. I think that the Bengals will win, but I think it'll be very close down to the wire.
Okay, so stay away from the -3.5. It could be a field goal game.
Yeah, that's a trap
Far
in and
away
of
from
itself.
that
So.
Yeah. Peach, Bengals Ravens.
Ah, man, I'm going out on a limb here, and like Seth just said, I'm not doing this for the content, but
You doing this to get on my nerves. That's why you doing
yeah,
this.
chill. I'm going with the Ravens here, man. I love their defensive side of the ball. I think that they could go punch for punch if this game would turn into a shootout. I think with their weapons, they could go punch for punch with a team like the Bengals. If they don't get the necessary stops that they need to get, then I can see the Bengals maybe pulling off late here. But I'm going with Ravens on this one, man. I think they get it done. I think Bengals go down 0-2. I think the world goes into a fucking frenzy, and then we see that Bengals that we're accustomed to rolling off the next few, and then Steph like, who they? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but I'm sorry, bro. I got y'all going on too, baby.
That's fine. I'm going to sound biased here, but I think
I was
the
gonna
Bengals.
say all bias aside. What's your?
Bias aside, I think the Bengals bounce back in a big way, bro. I think after getting punched in the mouth like that week 1, where you just look just all out of sorts. I still think it's going to take some time, right, with Joe Burrow missing training camp, but this is something that he's accustomed to. It's not a good thing, but he's done it every year in the NFL, missing the training camp. So I think they'll come out, they'll fire. I think that they'll feel the energy behind their home crowd. They're 4-2 in their last six games against the Ravens. So they found some success against the Ravens, which has been the opposite against the Browns. And the Ravens don't have Myles Garrett and that defensive line that the Browns have. Myles Garrett is different, bro. I was pissed. I'm looking through Instagram and I see him like dribbling between his legs. Bro, I'm like, yo, what is this? So I think it'll be different. And then minus the weather conditions, I think they'll figure it out. And I think the Bengals win. I think they cover that spread and at least win by a touchdown. My opinion, but it's coming from a Bengals fan, so. All right.
Take that with a grain of salt.
All right. Switching to the other team that represented the AFC in the AFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl last year. Chiefs Jags, Bob. I think I know you like the Jags this year. This is their home opener, right? Calvin Ridley played well in that first game, but the Chiefs coming off a loss without Kelsey, without Chris Jones. I know Chris Jones is back. I'm not sure if Travis Kelce is back. I haven't seen any injury reports on that. But who you like in this game? It's a rematch of the AFC Divisional Round playoff game, too.
Yeah, I think that Kelsey injury plays a big role in this game. I think if he plays, I think the Chiefs won't start 0-2 if he's playing. So I think that they'll definitely come out with the win. If he's not playing, I think it's going to be exactly like last week with the Chiefs, where they don't really score a lot. They move the ball pretty well at times, but then other times they look like they don't know what they're doing. And honestly, like if Kelsey's not playing, Kadarius Toney better not have a game like he had last week with all those drops.
That man was eating so much popcorn before the game.
Because if he doesn't have those drops, they probably win the game by like 10 points. So, yeah, really just if Kelsey plays, I think that it's a pretty easy win for the Chiefs. If he doesn't play, I think it'll be another nail biter for the Chiefs.
Gotcha. I'm actually in exact agreement. If Kelsey play, Chiefs win. If he doesn't, they start 0-2 and the Jags 2-0. What's your thoughts, Peach, on this game?
I gotta go same here. like you said, like if Kelsey doesn't play in this game, is a nail biter. Isn't that crazy? Just even to say that's how
Yeah,
good that Patty
that's what I
Mahomes
was about.
is. Like,
Yeah, how good Patty Mahomes is, absolutely, but also a testament to how good Travis Kelsey is.
oh
You know,
yeah,
like does he get his just due? You know what I mean? Like at the tight end position, sometimes it's overlooked, but he's been a big part in the Chiefs' success over these last couple years. And we screamed Patrick
facts.
Mahomes' name, and he's the quarterback. And then when they won with Tyreek Hill, we were screaming Tyreek name because it was more exciting and appealing to the eye. But Travis Kelsey may be the best receiving tight end of all time.
Nah, absolutely. Patty just be putting it. Just no matter what's out there, he's gonna put the ball in your hands. And you have these mediocre clowns sometimes not catching the ball when he needs. Like you saw how many times Patty looked off in that game, like, get
Yeah,
Travis, suit him
bro.
up, man.
He was throwing to Richie James and Kadarius Toney, who was Daniel Jones receivers in New York. So that says a lot who they got rid of. But moving on. 49ers Rams, Bob. This team that you said looked really good in week 1, which I think we all agree. And then another team in the Rams who I think surprised some people in Seattle. I didn't expect them to do that, especially without Cooper Kupp. But Sean McVay's a good coach and Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback, so they figure some things out. Do they repeat? They've struggled against the 49ers recently, but it's their home opener. Niners are favored by 8 points on the road. That's a lot of points. But give us your take on this game.
No, I think that last week against the Seahawks was a little bit of a one-off W for them. No, with the Seahawks kind of knowing that there's no Cooper Kupp, they don't really know what the Rams are going to be doing. Now that there's a little bit of film of what they want to do with no Cooper Kupp on the field, I think that especially with the 49ers defense, you can really do whatever you want. But now that they don't really need to focus on Cooper Kupp as an added dimension to their offense, I think that the 49ers kind of have a repeat of what happened last week. I think they win pretty big.
Good point. Good point on the without Cooper Kupp, how's the offense going to look? Peach, Rams, Niners.
And Bob, I don't want to sit here and keep saying that I agree with you, man, but you're hitting the nail on the head. I see the same thing. I think the 49ers win big. I think they punch the Rams in the mouth and kind of have a carryover from last game. Just too many weapons in this. Like, you got Brandon Ayuk going fucking ham, and you still got Christian McCaffrey and fucking Deebo Samuel. You still got Ron Jennings, and it's like, bro, then you don't even want to get to the defensive side of the ball. Like, I just feel like it's too much, especially for this Rams team that's missing their go-to guy in Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I think the 49ers just have a lot of the boxes checked. Right? We talked about coaching with the Chargers. We talked about defense with a few teams. We talked about playmakers with a few teams. We talked about offensive line with a few teams. And it seems like the 49ers have all of that checked, and their only question mark is quarterback. But it's like slowly disappearing. Like that question mark is slowly disappearing because Brock Purdy shows up and he performs game in and game out when he's available. So, yeah, I agree. We all on the same page. 49ers win. I'm not even scared of the 8, to be honest. I think they won by like 10. I could see like a 27-17 game. All right. Last major game before we get into some quick fire and the rest of these games. Jets Cowboys. So we saw what happened with Aaron Rodgers. 75 seconds into that game, which was crazy. And Zach Wilson comes in, and they're still able to win that game behind their defense and Josh Allen turnover prone self, who Peach was trying to back up for the longest. And then on the other end, you got the Cowboys, who I was glad that they did what they did, because if the Giants didn't lose the way they did, that would have made the Bengals would have had the worst loss in week 1. So I was kind of happy that the Giants laid the egg
they
like
had
that.
Little net ass 3 points, bro. That kills me with that shit.
I have to, man. Take my wins.
At least got a field goal.
But so two teams, it's a great storyline game with the Jets and the Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 9 at home, Bob. Tell us what you like for this game.
Yeah, I hate that I'm going to say this because it's the Cowboys, but This is exactly what typically happens with the Cowboys, where they play some team where like the strength of their team is just going to overpower the weakness of the other team. So last week, I think we all knew that the Giants had zero offensive line. You saw how much pressure they got on Daniel Jones and what that did to that entire offense. And now we got not only do we have Zach Wilson playing, but the Bills got some pressure on Zach Wilson when he was in too, made him feel uncomfortable. So I think that this is another repeat of last week where Cowboys defense does very, very well against this offense. I don't think that they're going to let up zero. I don't think that they're going to have 40 fantasy points like they did this week. But I think that they continually get a lot of pressure. I think that they may have a few interceptions against Zach Wilson, but overall, I see the maximum amount of points that the Jets can score is at like 9. I don't see them scoring too often.
I agree. I think it'll be a bit of a blowout. I can see Michael Irvin and all the Cowboys fans on TV yelling that the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl this year after this game. Bob, I know Bob don't think they won in the Super Bowl because he left a comment on our Cowboys video. Did you see that, Peach? He was like, Cowboys winning 9 games
in a row. Damn. And then they started out hot already. We had them kind of like starting slow and then picking up.
Giants winning week 1. But I agree. Cowboys run away with this at home against Zach Wilson. Peach, what's your thoughts?
Same, man. I think it's a little bit too much going on with that Cowboys defensive line, and like Bob said, the Bills defensive line was giving the Jets offensive line was a little bit of problem. So, bringing this juggernaut in, I'm interested to see how the Jets move the ball on this one. I love the Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall tandem back there. Hopefully that could open some things up for them early in the game. And then get guys like Alan Lazard, maybe get Mecole Hardman out there with a few touches across the middle and stuff. But all in all, man, I think the Cowboys is hot right now. I know it's still week 1. Well, obviously week 2, but I think that's gonna be a tough test for the Jets, man.
Agreed. All right, fellas, we're gonna run into just some quick. I'm going to name the 2 games. Bob, you give me your pick. Pete, you give me your pick. I'll give you my pick. All right. Bears, Bucks. Bob.
What do you say? What? No, making no.
You taking the Bucks?
I'm going with this. Taking the Bucks without a doubt. All
right, I'm going Bears.
Who you like?
I'm going Bears.
Crazy.
Falcons, Packers, Bob.
This is a good one.
It is.
This is a good one. I'm gonna go Packers. I like the way they looked last week.
I'm gonna go Falcon. I think the Packers.
I knew you was gonna go Falcons. You've been on the Packers all season.
Yeah, I just think Desmond Ridder didn't look too bad. He didn't light it up, but 15-18 in the touchdown. Colts, Texans, 2 rookie quarterbacks. Who you got, Bob? Flip a coin. Bet the tie.
If you don't bet the tie, I would probably go with I would lean the Colts. They look pretty good week 1.
Yeah.
I'm going with the names. I'm gonna go Texans.
Texans. I'm going Colts. Lions, Seahawks.
Kind of going off
in
of
Detroit.
What we were talking about with that first game. I think that the Seahawks are kind of a fluke right now. They got to figure some things out. I'm going to go with the Lions.
Beach.
I think the confidence carry over, man. I'm going with the Lions as well too. You just knocked off the Chiefs. I'm coming into this week 2 game like I can run through a goddamn wall. So
yeah. I like the Lions as well. I think it's a field goal win. I think Seattle kind of get it back together. But I think the Lions do win. All right, Bills, Raiders, Bob.
Bills. I wanted to take the Raiders bad, but
it's like you're forced to take the Bills on this.
really wanted to take the Raiders, but I can't. They don't got enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Bills. And what you want to do? The spread at 17? Just fucking 14,
17?
2
I'll take that.
touchdowns. Shit.
I'll take the 17. We can bet something on the plus 17.
I think the Bills bounce back. I think we have like a crazy ass game from them as well.
Yeah, at home against that Vegas defense. I like the Bills as well. All right. Giants, Cardinals. I won't be watching too much of this, but I'll catch the highlights. But who you liking this game?
We're going to have 2 ties in 1 week.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cardinals. Giants stink.
Wow.
Cardinals get a first one.
I like the shake up. Who you going?
Giants is gonna be fiending for a fucking win, bro. They probably beat the shit out of the.
I can see
God.
the over under 39.5. I think the Giants win too. I think it'll be 27-13. I think they'll cover and do their thing. We did just Cowboys, Broncos, Commanders, Bob.
Still think that Russell Wilson needs a little bit more time getting more comfortable, especially if Jerry Jeudy can come back. So they're playing Commanders. I'm taking Commanders.
Me too.
I'm taking the Commanders too, man. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this Broncos team still trying to figure shit out. They sold the goddamn state to fucking get fucking Russell Wilson, and he's still trying to figure this shit out. I'm done, man.
Yeah.
Give me the Commanders by a touchdown.
Great point, Peach. I'm done too. I'm done picking them. I bet them so much last year. Yeah, Commanders on the road. Patriots, Dolphins.
Gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins, but I think it's gonna be very low scoring. I don't think it's gonna be anything like last week. The Patriots and Eagles. It'll be similar to that game.
So you like the Dolphins to win that game?
Yeah.
Peach?
I'm gonna go Patriots on this one. I think the Dolphins.
Yeah, Peach. Way to stick with your team. Way to stick with your team. But when you see it on the video, Peach was a Patriots fan, and now he's trying to slither his way out because Tom Brady not there no more.
You can't tell people you was a Patriots fan back in the day, man. Like, you don't like fucking Brady.
Tom Brady went over there to the Pats.
What you say about?
Is that why you like the Bucks this year? Just because Tom Brady went from the Pats to the Bucks?
No. You know, it's crazy. I was real bitter on the Bucks when they had Brady. And just seeing how lackluster they was last year and seeing all the ridicule that they was getting this year. Bob, to be honest with you, I'm a big Baker guy. I love Baker Mayfield. No matter how up and down the seasons he had, he still had an 11-5 season in Cleveland with the Browns and got them to the playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all I needed, Baker. And now they trying to write him off, Bob. And the weapons that they got. Tom Brady was too old and not mobile enough to keep Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Don't get me on my bag, bro. Dude, come on, bro, because they're legitimate weapons, bro. They still got this veteran defense intact. Not everybody from the Super Bowl team, but there's still some heads there, bro. Look, man, I'm not going to make this about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm just letting y'all know, keep them eyes peeled.
We got 2 more games. We got 2 more games. I like the Patriots in the upset at home. Division game at home. I don't see Bill Belichick losing back-to-back home games. I don't care who it's against. Saints, Panthers, Monday night. We got a doubleheader. Bob, who you liking that game?
I think the Saints come out, play a lot better than week 1. I think they blow the Panthers out pretty big.
Peach?
I like Saints on this one as well.
Yeah, me too. I like the Saints. I think it'll be a little close, but I can see the Saints winning by 7 or 10 points. And then the last game of week 2, Steelers, Browns, in Pittsburgh. Bob, what you got for me?
I got an ugly game. I got the under. I think I'm going to go with the Steelers. I think that the Browns are a little high off of last week. It's like a classic trap game. Coming just too high. Motion's too high. I think that the Steelers get the job done.
Peach?
Myles Garrett is gonna take Kenny Pickett and ball him up like a piece of paper, like I just did just now. I am not impressed with Kenny Pickett. So I'm gonna take the Browns in this one to roll over, send these Pittsburgh fans into a fucking frenzy.
I
like the Browns,
think
man.
I like the Steelers as well. I think like the Browns have owned the Bengals lately, the Steelers have owned the Browns forever. So I think the Steelers team, Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing against this squad. So I like the Steelers. I like the Steelers in that one. All right, Bob. I got 2 questions for you before we wrap the show up. One, let me get your early season, week 1.5. We're not even on week 2 yet. Super Bowl prediction. This is about to be crazy, Peach.
You want the matchup, or you want whoever?
Yeah, I want the matchup in the winner.
It's going to be the Dolphins and the 49ers, and the Dolphins are going to win.
I like the non-bias. Don't throw the Eagles in there.
Dolphins.
Can I ask, so are the Eagles losing to the Niners in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, I think I've left a few comments on your other videos that I think the Cowboys win the NFC East. Eagles make it as a wild card team. They win whatever it is, like 2 or 3 games to get to the NFC Championship, and then lose at San Fran.
Quick question, and I don't want to spend too much time on here. Dolphins in the playoffs, if they don't have home field advantage, they have to travel to Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Cleveland, all these cold weather places. Does that bother you a little bit or no?
If they have Tua healthy, no, because
Okay.
nobody else knows how to get Tyreek kill the ball. So if Tua stays healthy, I think that they're set.
All right,
I
understood.
like that Super Bowl. That's an interesting Super Bowl.
That is. I think that's the first time I've seen it. I like that. I like that too. All right, then last question before we wrap up the show, Bob. I know what's behind your head, but Peach, did you peep all the sneaks that's in the back? That's his kitchen,
Nah,
bro.
let me see again,
Food. He eats Snickers.
Oh man,
How many pair of Jordans you got, bro?
we gotta hit a number,
I
man.
Yeah, I haven't kept count in a while, but last time I probably had a number was probably around I'd probably put it at 135 now.
It got
Crazy.
triple digits.
Crazy. Like 4 pair of sneaks in rotation.
It's good though, man. Do you wear them all, Bob? It's 365 days in the year. That gives you at least an opportunity to wear them twice.
No. Before I got a desk job, I was wearing Jordans every day, so I did wear them a lot. But ever since I had to stop wearing sneakers around, I really only wear 3 pairs of shoes now these days.
Yeah, no, that goes.
Collector's items.
Yeah.
Bro, we appreciate you, man. We're going to have you back on. Appreciate the expertise. I was hoping you said the Bengals in the Super Bowl. You kind of let me down there. But appreciate you.
Yeah.
I think he left on us. He was tired of. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Absolutely, brother. We're going to have you back on, bro.
Man.
All right. Yeah. Can't wait. Go Eagles.
Yep.
Go Birds.
Yes, sir.
T-A-G-L-E-S.
Go Eagles.
Go Bengals.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No. I can leave after that now.
All right, brother. I love you.